5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You what to do, baby? Yo, man. You know, another episode. We made it, man. This one kind of took us a long time to develop. It's been 2 weeks in the making, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, technical difficulties and...
difficulties, agendas.
Maybe they don't want us to talk about this one.
Oh, it might be, man. It might be something, man.
It's a full moon?
And it's a full moon, man. I got to tell you about the dream that I had. But let's start the show first. Shout out to the everybody out there. Shout out to our first responders. I know I have a couple of nurses in my life. They're out there working hard. You guys know who you guys are. Thank you for working super extra hard. And everybody out there, man, risking their lives. And what I mean by that is, just walking around. Anything, it's so easy to be caught that, it's danger. Just walking across the street. Oh.
Remember Desiree?
Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm.
She's in law enforcement.
So she's that's there, right. Yeah, law enforcement too, man. Shout out to them too. Whether you agree with the police or not, it's definitely, they're out there. Just like the people that got to work at the markets and other places are still open, I think, from my understanding, phase 1 of the...
Avenger Saga.
Of the stay-at-home order is being lifted. So hopefully we go back to normal, man, because I think the pandemic really affected a lot of things. I think it brought good things, just it brought bad things. But I think little by little has been moving. So I hope we all can go back to doing what we were doing. So let's start a show, man. I want to start a show by telling you, man. So first and foremost, guys, this episode should have been recorded about a week and a half ago. Because for those who keep track, we drop every album. Every single. No, we drop every episode either Friday, Saturday at least. But for some strange reason, we've been wanting to talk about aliens and about just things that we believe.
They're taking me.
This guy. But for some reason, we recorded this episode already, and somehow, some way, out of all the times, mind you, we've been doing 6 episodes. This is gonna be our 7th. Thank God.
For a while now.
And it just disappeared, man. Yeah. And so that was weird. I know things happen for a reason. So I'm a firm believer on that. Maybe.
It was so weird. It was on a Thursday too. We were on time too.
We actually were on time. If someone's to blame for being tardy, it's me. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But going back to that, yeah. So we recorded. We were editing, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. So that happened. So we've been talking about let's get together. We get together, and something always happens. Now the other night, I had a dream, and I know it wasn't a dream. Well, let's just call it a dream for the sake of argument. I was laying in my bed.
How do you know it wasn't a dream?
Dude, because I was awake, dude. I remember I forgot where I was coming from. I laid in bed. I was just chilling, whatever. I was on my phone. I turned off my phone. Mm-hmm. And, dude, I remember just vividly closing my eyes. And then I could not open my eyes, dude. I could not open my eyes. I mean, I could be dreaming. I don't know. But from what I remember laying down, whatever, be on my phone. I turned off my phone, lay down. And I remember I closed my eyes. And I could not open them, dude. And I could not move. Almost like the sleep paralysis type of thing. And then, dude, I could not move. And I swear, man, I vividly, I remember a hovering above me. I swear, I know that sounds... I know, I'm not just saying that to sell the episode, but I'm serious, dude. This is...
Like a hovering.
Like a hovering, like
what?
Like a... You know what I mean? Like something above me. And, dude, I could not open my eyes, and finally, like my toes started twinkling or whatever.
Twinkling,
I don't know. That's the best word I found to describe moving. I tried to start moving my toes, and finally, dude, I was off. I was free, dude. I was scared, dude.
No way.
I kid you not. Dude. I mean, I don't know. I could have been dreaming for all I know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to say, oh, shit happened. But I can't say it did not happen, dude. It was trippy as hell. I mean, I know I've had dreams before where, you know, we all have sleep paralysis dreams. So I know what it feels like, but I don't know, man. I felt too close. I mean, I could be wrong.
Toes, that shit sounds kind of, dude, hovering sound like just. You think you're abducted?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But definitely.
You think they came down to see one of the goats of the planet Earth?
I don't know.
I gotta see how he works.
No, man, that was crazy. But I say all that to say, this episode has been a long time coming in a sense. Yeah. And basically, what we all wanted to talk about is aliens and what we believe. You know, a lot of things have been coming out. Well, this is an episode not an episode. The news released a video that the government finally said, yeah, it's real. About, well, you explain that a little bit. I think you watched it more times.
Something about, like, basically in 2004 and 2015, they saw those surveillance picked up these, like, dots moving across. You know what I mean? Like, they were like little trackers.
Right.
And they caught on, and they were just, they're called UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, that was all. They just released those videos saying, like, yeah, you know, this footage exists. We don't know what it is, but it's out there, kind of thing. And it's the reason why the way they describe these aircrafts is that the physics of how these things were moving is unheard of in this planet that we live in, right? Watch, for example, you can be really fast, but you can't stay still, or you can stay still and you can't be really fast, right? Like with our aircraft, like a jet. A jet is fast as fuck, like, you know what I mean? But can they stand still? No. Even when they land, they need something to stop them.
Right.
Helicopters can stand still, but they're not fast like jets.
Right.
So what I'm trying to get at, and the ascension of all these things, like how they ascend and, you know, descend, whatever, it still takes time. And the way these dots, or we'll just call them UFOs, the way these UFOs move is like, it can travel really fast, it can stop, it can just kind of hang around, and then it can shoot right up. Like,
it's like it's got its own gravitational
its own gravity.
Its own gravity.
So like it's kind of like the thing that's crazy about it too is that it's really quiet.
Right.
Like the aircraft is not like zoom, zoom, like it's not. There's no sound.
Not like a spaceship. Not like they make it seem in the movies, right?
No. Like this thing is, at least from what we've seen, like it's quiet and it moves in ways it's just that can't happen. You know what I mean? Well, and I don't know if you guys have heard of Bob Lazar, but he's another dude who.
Yes, I was watching that. What do you call it, the interview with Joe Rogan about how he's been out since the 80s or something. He's been out and about. He's been out and about, but I guess every time he's come out, everyone calls him crazy or whatever. Now people say that he's crazy because, you know, the government's hiding all these things going on in Area 51. Now, this guy, he lived in New Mexico, from my understanding. He lived in New Mexico, and he drove. He was so smart. He built a Honda. Well, he had a Honda, and he put a jet engine in it.
Yeah.
So everybody knew him. He was the guy with the jet engine. You know, everyone.
Honda,
yeah, exactly. They could hear him like a mile away. Long story short, he was a very smart gentleman who caught the attention of I guess you can say the government or whoever was handling Area 51 or whoever handles.
It was next area. It wasn't Area 51. It was the
base. It was the base, right?
It's like, yeah, they wanted him to work on something top secret.
Exactly. So apparently, from what he describes or what he says in the interview, he says that it was essentially he seen spacecrafts, all shapes and sizes, I guess, and I guess they were working on something. So they told him, they described him the job, but they didn't really tell him what it was about. They kind of like, you know, from what he says, he's like, he thought it was like a test or something, you know? And in that test, in those things, they tell him, you know, they gave him different things. I guess what they were working on, apparently, is like a machine.
So they were split up into groups.
Right, they were split into groups, right.
I don't know how many man group, but they were split up, and none of the other groups were able to tell each other, hey, this is what we're working on, or whatever. Right. Like, they were just, and they couldn't even ask what they were working on. They just had like you said, an assignment. And with the theirs was, what was it? It
was like a machine that basically
like
makes up makes anti-gravity or makes gravity. And basically, if you're able to make gravity, you can essentially do anything, because you can bend time,
you can bend space.
I mean, you can do number of things.
Time
You know,
travel.
you can time travel, and like this is something that apparently there's a machine, but they just didn't know how to work it. Like they knew I guess not the ins and outs, but they knew how it sort of functioned.
They knew how to turn it on.
Exactly. They knew how to turn it on. Essentially, the example they put is like almost throwing a motorcycle back in the 1700s, and you know what I mean.
Washington.
You know, and them trying to figure out how to work that. Yeah, they might have like after pressing so many buttons, they figure out how to turn it on, but essentially they didn't know how to like how it worked. Essentially, so that's what they were.
They didn't know how
it was created.
How it was created. What the materials were.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, that's what they
That's
wanted to do.
what he said too. That he discovered like an element that was that later on it was a real element. But remember,
I don't remember quite that detail, but it sort of makes sense. But yeah, so essentially that's what it was. So they knew how to turn it on, but they didn't know how the functions of it, how to create it. So we say all that to say that, man, this world is full of enigmas. And with that said, sir, do you believe in aliens? And before you answer, do you believe in aliens? And what's an alien to you?
Yeah, you know what? I do believe in aliens because I remember one time I was going up the street. Right, I was like 5 years old. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Remember when animals used to have the Geo Metro?
Oh yeah, damn.
Yeah. Well, I was in the back seat, and I remember, we were going northbound on Fremont, and when we look up on the mountains, dude, I kid you not, I saw like a diamond-shaped silver aircraft like way in the distance, and it was just like floating there. And then like I kept looking at it, and I just saw it go behind the mountains, and it just disappeared.
Yeah,
and I remember going home. Like I remember, you were there? You saw?
No, I wasn't there, but my mom was there. I think.
Yeah. Oh, my mom probably talked about it too.
Yeah.
I remember going home and drawing a picture of it, and dude, all I drew were like fucking diamonds on the paper, and I don't know, it's kind of eerie, but yeah, man, I believe aliens or whatever they are real.
Mm-hmm.
What do I think they are? A more advanced version of us.
Okay.
Because out of all the planets to visit, let's just, for argument's sake, let's think about our 9 planets, right? The solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 9 planets, why would they come to us? Maybe, because, there's living things on this planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't know if there's other there might be other they would know that. Mm-hmm. But why come to us specifically? And it's like maybe to see how we used to be. Because notice as...
Like I say, sorry to cut you out. It's almost like learning from the past, you know?
Yeah. Kind of like what we do with, like, Neanderthals and all that stuff, right? Like, we... As a species, evolves, like, so do their bodies or what they do or how they... You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like... For example, again, we start as Neanderthals, like ape-looking motherfuckers, like, small, like,
yeah.
And then, like...
I like your noise.
Yeah, like, like the SpongeBob, remember the episode when he turns into the little caveman? Yeah. Anyways, and so now we evolved into, like, let's say modern-day humans, and we realized it's kind of like natural selection. You pick and choose what you need for your survival.
Right.
Like, for some reason, nowadays, being tall is, like, the best thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, man, I want to be rich. I need to marry a basketball player. And then like, so they want to go, like, okay, they look for features.
Right.
For the most part. If you're trying to... Some people, they just look at each other. They don't look at features. They just... You know what I mean? But for the most part, if you're trying to make your species grow, you will look for certain features. Oh, this guy looks big and strong. He might be able to take down this tree. I'm going to need him for survival. Oh, this lady is very calm and looks like she can take care of... Right. So that's how species are evolving. So I feel like we reached a point... Those dudes up there are aliens who reached another evolution in our own life. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, you know what? It's not so much about being tall or having all this, like, extra, like, skin or clothing. Maybe it's they acquired knowledge.
Okay.
Intelligence. Because remember what Bob Lazar said, too? He said that he recalls seeing, like, a short, little, like, 3-foot tall person.
Right. And
it's like, maybe we just figured out, we evolved our intelligence. And that's why they probably look different from us. Maybe we're their live museum.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh? I like that.
I don't know, or this was me thinking, because I don't know why I watched Passion of the Christ the other day.
Okay.
What if aliens are God? Right?
Okay.
Because, like, for example, there's so many pyramids in different parts of the world, right?
Okay.
right? You know what, like Mexico, Guatemala, whatever, Egypt, and that's one